lights out, baby, it's my time. Oh yeah. Pull the plug, cross the line, left, right, who's to blame? Doesn't matter, I'm the name. Fingers pointing, shouting loud, but I'm the one who crashed the crowd. The system is down. You welcome, losers, wear the crown. Step down, party, let it burn. No rules, no work, my turn. Elephants, donkeys, they all fight all night. I flip the switch, kill the lights, spin the wheel, who's the fool? Guess what, I broke the rule. Chaos, drama, what a show. I'm the glitch you didn't know. The system is down. You welcome, losers, wear the crown. Step down, party, let it burn. No rules, no work, my turn. Elephants, donkeys, they all fight all night. I flip the switch, kill the lights, spin the wheel, who's the fool? Guess what, I broke the rule. Chaos, drama, what a show. I'm the glitch you didn't know. The system is down. You're welcome, losers, wear the crown. Step down, party, let it burn. No rules, no work, my turn. Ben said, today, Dave said, yeah, Uncle Sam's walked away, capitals closed, no checks in the mail, but who needs a king when the ship's already sailed? So grab a red cup, fill it with the cheap stuff. Who needs taxes when the system's corrupt? The suits are gone, the power's out, feels like freedom, let's scream and shout. They say chaos, we say fun, government's gone, we're number one. Shut down party, pop the champagne, raise your glass, toast to the insane. Who needs rules? We're free for a night. Shut down party, we're dancing in the fight.
Nazi fags.
Dave said, damn, is it bad to feel this good? Dan said, nah man, we were misunderstood. The pundits cried, but we just laughed. They took our money, now we're taking it back. Turn off the lights, the streets are ours. The moon's our witness, the stars our guards. No tyranny, no suits, no shame. Just two wild dudes and a freedom flame. Shut down party, pop the champagne, raise your glass, toast to the insane. Who needs rules? We're free for a night. Shut down party, we're dancing in the fight. Dave said, damn, is it bad to feel this good? Dan said, nah man, we were misunderstood. The pundits cried, but we just laughed. They took our money, now we're taking it back. Turn off the lights, the streets are ours. The moon's our witness, the stars our guards. No tyranny, no suits, no shame. Just two wild dudes and a freedom flame.
This is a Dissident Media production. DissidentMedia.net.
In a world where everything sucks, two men have the balls to laugh at it. This is The System Is Down.
We did it!
shut the government down again. Good job, everyone. I mean, nobody wants to take credit for it, but I will. I shut the government down, everyone. Let's party.
You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's episode is brought to you by you. The fine folks in the Downers Club, people like Aaron, Michael McIntyre, James Strickland, William Ogle, Sir Turd, Nathan Gall, Gilda Kate, Bob Seaford, Drugs for Robots, Zachary, Maxwell, Kimberly, Steve, Noah, JC, Justico Silas, Joey Perry, Adam, Donald, Matt, Ozzy Mataz, Sean Luke Picard, Heffalumps Woozles, Rick Duran, Howie Snowden, Nathan, Brian, Mary, Justin, John, and many, many more. If you want to get your name on that list and have it read incorrectly someday, go on over to patreon.com/The System Is Down, where you'll get more weird, more raw, more offensive, more content. That's right, content. Sometimes. I mean, we've been doing not as many after parties lately because it's been a busy summer, but I think today we're going to do an after party. I can feel it deep down. I know I said that last week and then we went over, but when we go over, it just means you get it for free. So you're welcome. You got a bunch of sneak peeks at what we do over there, but today we're going to get even edgier because we're going to talk about dumb women, mostly. So if you want to hear us talk about dumb women mostly, that is the title of the after party today if we get there. Patreon.com/The System Is Down. Now, sorry for seeming shorter today, but we're on the iPhone for the camera because my other camera is out on assignment filming a new movie right now. So be on the lookout for that later on. But for now, I will sit here in my short little studio and talk by myself to myself. Wait, not really to myself. I almost forgot. Dave's here. Dave! How's it going, Dave? Confetti. Confetti. Please work, confetti. I won't. Well, there we go. Confetti.
Hey!
Dave's here, everyone. Dave, how's it going, my man?
What it is, confetti ready, bro. Shut it down.
We have officially shut it down again. The system is officially down, and my God, you'd think it was the end of the world out there, the way everything just came to a screeching halt the moment the clock struck midnight last night. It was Y2K.0, which is like nothing .0, but you know how it is. We've been here before. We're going to talk about that and much, much more. Benjamin Netanyahu is all over the place and doing some sort of PR flail, trying to convince everybody that he's just God's gift to humanity, no matter how many people he kills. We've got lots of things. The Super Bowl madness. The new Super Bowl halftime show has been announced. We'll talk about that as much as it deserves. There's some new things. There's just going to constantly be things on Charlie Kirk until we get some answers, but as long as things are coming out, we're going to talk about them. All that and much, much more. Now, on The System Is Down. Did you like that timing? I finished it right at the end of the song. Dave, how are you doing, man? How's it been?
It's good, man. Feeling the effects, though, of the shutdown, for sure. I know people are
Really
who
kicking
were
your ass,
doing
huh?
great yesterday are hurting today. So our hearts, our thoughts, and our prayers are with them.
Good people, good government officials are suffering right now, Dave. This is not to be made light of.
Right. Some people may have to, take an early week, extend their weekend out.
It's going to be tough.
When they figure this out next week,
Yep.
and fund everything fully and more and above and beyond.
Absolutely. And we can kind of just start there today because that is the first story. I know I'm good at burying the lead 2 hours into an episode, but we're just going to throw it right out there. The government did shut down. I guess I don't really have a headline or anything. I do have a clip that is the most interesting thing that I've found so far in this government shutdown, but I wasn't paying that close attention. I heard rumor that we were fast approaching another government shutdown, something that I've seen quite a few times in my life. I feel like it seems like it's every other year, but they insist that it's only ever under Donald Trump. But the government has shut down. To my understanding, it's because there was some sort of disagreement on the Hill about health care. That's what the Democrats are saying. But like I said in the intro, the Democrats are saying it's the Republicans' fault and it's Donald Trump's shutdown. It's Donald Trump's fault that the government is not currently functioning. The Republicans are saying it's the Democrats' fault because they want too many crazy things, which is probably true, in their health care bill or whatever, and they just came to a screeching halt, and everyone is blaming everyone. And like I said, I'm just here like, Why are you guys being so humble, Republicans and Democrats? Why are you being so humble? Nobody wants to take credit for this joyous occasion? Like, they're just like, no, it's not me. It's you. You deserve the credit for this. And I'm just like, somebody please pick up the torch and proclaim, I did this. I shut this down, and I will praise you. But the fact that all Republicans and Democrats, both in unison, are like, it's their fault, and we don't want to take responsibility for it, means, like, we were right about all you guys. You're not on the right side of history, because you don't see this as a win. You see this as a failure to whoever done it, and I will take that blame. I'll take that failure. You're welcome, losers. The government's gone. Any thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, I don't know if I can think of a better political football than the debt ceiling.
Yeah.
And letting the government shut down. What a great one, because no one's going to research it. No one has, like, you got your team.
Yeah.
Team gets to blame the other team.
Both sides
teams
can
get to
use it,
fundraise.
and nobody cares to look into it to see who's actually at fault. And I honestly don't care, because, again, I think they should take credit for it. But there are no heroes in government, it would turn out. Maxine Waters was approached on the steps outside of the whole shutdown, and she had some things to say when asked about what the squabble was all about.
Do Democrats want to prioritize the health care of illegal aliens over a government shutdown? Because if the government does shut down, American
Excuse
employees are gonna
me,
be furloughed.
stop it right there. We're not prioritizing. What we're doing is saying simply we want to keep the government open, and we want to work with the Republicans and have a bipartisan agreement
I'm terrified.
to keep this government open, and health care is at the top of
better.
our agenda.
But aren't Democrats demanding health care for illegal aliens?
Democrats are demanding health care for everybody. We want to save lives. We want to make sure that health care is available to those who would die, but having the help of their government.
So you're good with the government shutdown, even if it means giving health care to people who aren't American citizens?
Well, that's what you're pushing on. What you're trying to do is you're standing here and you're trying to make me say that somehow we're going to put non-citizens over Americans. Quit it. Stop it. This is the kind of journalism we don't need.
No, I'm just
You're
asking.
divisive. No, you're not.
Yeah, no, that's
You're being
what-
divisive. No,
No, I'm
please. You don't need to ask that question. You're just trying to get controversy here. You're not going to get it from me. We want to save health care for all people. Thank you.
Thank you.
So at the end of the day, yes, the answer to your question is yes, and a resounding yes. Also, please stop asking me, because it's controversial for you to ask me that very straightforward question, even though the answer is a clear, resounding yes. She gets defensive because she has the audacity, after Maxine Waters has said twice, yes, this is for all people, she asks again, so to be clear, this is for illegal citizen or illegal immigrants that you guys are pushing for this. And that's when she gets defensive. Like, this is such an outlandish question that I just answered yes twice to. Yeah, she said the quiet part as loud as she possibly could, then got offended that the lady was like, are you sure you're saying that thing you're saying? It's beautiful. I mean, it's not anything new. It's what they've been pushing for some time, and now Maxine Waters is just saying the quiet part out loud. Any thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, I guess that's that's the end result. This legislation, I imagine, of saying that healthcare is a human right. For 10 or 15 or 20 years or however long they've been pushing that bullshit. Because now that, again, what a beautiful political football. That's just fact to their base.
Mm-hmm.
Healthcare, human right. So and no one's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
No one is illegal. So of course it makes sense that their legislation has that in it. And of course it makes sense the Republicans don't want to pay for that. And that I'm sure their constituents don't either.
Right.
But yeah, it's a great way for them to fundraise, both sides.
Of course. Yeah, everybody is to blame and nobody is to blame at the same time. So it is one of the best things.
Maxine Waters, though,
Yep.
that was like some terrifying shit. She's really, really
She's good at
scary.
that. Yeah, she's good at
Lady, you're scaring us.
Speaking of scaring us, good transition, Dave, because you're not the only person who's scared by this whole dilemma of the shutting down of government. Here's the spookiest congresswoman that I could find, Sarah Jacobs, to give her take on all this.
It's past midnight in D.C., which means Donald Trump just shut down the government. Here's what that means for you. No food safety checks on what's in your fridge, longer TSA lines and fewer air traffic controllers on duty, national parks locked up or trashed without park rangers, passports and visas stuck in limbo, farmers and small business owners cut off from federal loans, cancer trials and disease research on hold, disaster relief delayed when communities need it most, and service members, Border Patrol agents, FBI agents, all working without pay. This is all Donald Trump's fault. Republicans control the White House, the Senate, and the House. So if they want Democratic votes, they have to come and talk to us. We're not going to rubber stamp Trump's agenda and support healthcare cuts. Democrats are ready to talk. But until then, this shutdown is on Republicans.
Spooky Halloween episode here, brought to you by Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs, because this is all Donald Trump's fault, and now everyone's going to die in the streets. That's what's happened every other time that the government shut down. All the national parks shut down, all the forest fires just raged out of control, and people died in their hospital beds. No, nothing will change, is my prediction, but I'm known for being a hopeful optimist and just looking at all the glasses half full. Am I right, Dave?
Yeah, man. And that's the thing. Again, like we would love to see a whole lot more of, shut it all down, really. So I can't have sympathy for federal workers in any capacity. Yeah. Obviously, you shouldn't be able to unionize if you're getting paid with tax dollars. Like, that's just basic shit. But I don't even think you should, you shouldn't have a job there. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that we don't have an entire economy based on federal workers and that's subsidized by the working class, the working public, whatever you want to call it, everybody else, the private sector. How about that? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what all was in the bill. I don't really care. It's another bloated bill that they shoved a bunch of things into so that one side can say that the Democrats were just voting against this really good thing instead of the other stupid things. And then the Democrats can say that the Republicans were just voting against this one good thing that they cherry pick instead of all the other stupid things. And then we can shut down and blame each other or whatever. All I have to say is good on all of you for finally working it out and deciding that we are not grown adults that are running a country. We can't work out our differences. We need to just go home, go to bed, and still get paid exorbitant amounts of money and to do even more nothing than we normally do. But, a government employee who's not doing their job, even if being paid, is still more valuable to our society than one who is doing their job, most likely. But speaking of worthless government operations and employees and whatnot, so there's this big case that the Republicans and the Democrats have both been all in a kerfuffle about since Donald Trump said that it was a Democrat hoax. It's all crazy conspiracy nonsense. Perhaps you've heard of the files. The files are now coming out officially. It's for real. Donald Trump is finally answering the people and giving us exactly what we asked for. Because according to Axios, Trump offers admin to declassify all records of the Amelia Earhart files and her final trip.
Most transparent administration ever.
That's right. Thank you, Donald Trump. Once again, who was asking for the Amelia Earhart files? I mean, sure, great. This feels like something that should come out after so many other files that people are actually asking about, like 9/11, further JFK investigations, Epstein. But here's Amelia Earhart, as you are all wondering about that fateful trip that she took. All the children have just been clamoring to find out what went down there.
The Bermuda Triangle, it's the worst of all the triangles.
And what are we supposed to do if there are government documents that declassify that the Bermuda Triangle is like some portal to hell and that's what happened? Like, okay, shit, dog. I'm not sure why we were covering for Satan that time too, but you know, and if there is anything in the Amelia, I didn't know there was. I don't know that much about Amelia Earhart. I didn't know that there was some grand conspiracy to the files that are covered up. I know that she like disappeared, right, and nobody could find her. Yeah, like okay, so if it, I'm sure it's probably that they have nothing, and that's what the files will show. But if it does show that there's a portal to hell, then then we're back to the Epstein situation, where I have to ask, why were all of the years and years of presidents and generations covering up the portal to hell documents? Because that seems almost as bad as the pedophile documents. But you got any thoughts on this big revelation, Dave?
I'm thinking he's not giving us the blueprints to the portal to hell. I don't think we're there yet. He's not even he can't even say that Netanyahu.
Can we get one thing? Just one thing. Give me the portal to hell documents at least. Just give me anything.
Come on. It's not much. One thing. One thing. What the fuck are you guys doing in Antarctica? Is it or is it not a portal to hell?
we get the Amelia Earhart documents, and it's like it turns out Amelia Earhart died because she went through a portal to redacted. Like, still just running cover for the devil.
Right.
Yep.
Right. No, that's why Benjamin Netanyahu was here, so that he could be here for the unveiling of the great Amelia Earhart files. That nobody has even cared enough to run through Grok on Twitter and see what's up with this. No one cares.
That's true. That's true. Nobody was asking. Thank you, Donald Trump, for yet another attempt to detract from the Epstein files. But speaking of the Epstein files, I'm pretty sure this is real. I didn't actually look into it. If somebody wants to fact check me, if it's not real, then so be it. But I have no reason to believe it's not. It's a screenshot is the only reason why I'm questioning it. But Elon Musk apparently, ironically, got something. Well, here's this. Sky News allegedly said Elon Musk and Prince Andrew named in latest Epstein files release, which is, you know, it's funny for a few reasons. But Elon Musk responded and said, "Shame on Sky News for this utterly." Hold on. "Shame on Sky News for this utterly misleading headline. Anyone pushing this false narrative deserves complete contempt. Epstein tried to get me to go on his island, and I refused. Yet they named me even before Prince Andrew, who did visit." That's a terrible Elon Musk, I know, because I don't think I've ever done
It wasn't
an Elon
actually
Musk.
that bad, bro. I think
I'll work
it's
on
not
it.
your worst.
I don't know if I've done Elon before, but either way, beautiful irony here, because if you recall, there was the entire falling out of Donald Trump and Elon Musk and their relationship, where Elon Musk said the reason why Donald Trump refuses to release the Epstein files is because he's in them. And then a couple days later, didn't quite retract it, but hinted at retracting that statement or whatever. But there was a lot of back and forth, and now he's just outraged that Sky News would have the audacity to implicate him in the Epstein files. And I don't know if he is or isn't in there, but it seems suspicious that he's taking so much offense from somebody doing the exact same thing that he did without any evidence, just like he did. And he's, he says, "Shame on Sky News for this utterly misleading headline. Anyone pushing this false narrative deserves complete contempt. Epstein tried to get me to go on his island, and I refused." Why? Why did you refuse? And that's a question I think we should be asking more of these elitist assholes, no matter what side they're on. The Donald Trumps of the world, the Elon Musks of the world, and of course all the Democrats as well. Everybody who's like, well, I kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, or I refused to go on his island, or I didn't get on his plane. I told him I won't deal with such a scumbag. Why? Why did you think he was such a scumbag? What is it that you thought he was doing? What is it that you didn't report to the authorities if you thought that he was doing it? Because if you were involved at all, and even if you were like vehemently turning him down, why were you vehemently turning him down? That's almost just as bad. Well, not just as bad. It has very great implications to, we all knew what was going on there. We knew that he was running child sex trafficking rings, and I didn't want to be caught up in that. I was smart enough not to, but I still didn't do anything about it. And I really hope these posts are accurate, because otherwise this has been a rant about nothing. But Dave, you got any rants about this?
I mean, my main question is, it said in this latest Epstein file release, like, what the fuck files are you talking about? I haven't seen shit. I didn't see anybody get more binders. Where are those binders at? They didn't do a big confetti ready party.
Right.
So I'm a little sus of that. But and you know what? I don't know, man. I don't think that I think he's probably being honest, if that is him, that he didn't go, but he is kind of a weirdo. He probably did know some shit, just like lots of people knew and didn't do anything or couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
But Sky News, if that's that's a legit source. I'm not saying that they always give you good news, but
I don't know
if it's not a fly by night account.
Sure, I don't trust anybody anymore, be it Elon Musk or Sky News. But yeah, let's see where it goes. Let's see what comes out. Probably nothing, if I had to guess. Libertatum Pugnator says, fake super chat. Speaking of the Epstein files, people are saying Stephen Hawking's test to meet time travelers is now invalidated because time travelers would not want to party with a kid diddler. Thank you. Yeah. What if Stephen Hawking did go to the future and they're all like, we're good, bro. See ya. Also, if you can be raped by Stephen Hawking, I've said too much. Now, let's move on to the Super Bowl, everybody's favorite pastime, especially on this show. We love the sports ball. Yeah, this we will spend the adequate amount of time on this. The Super Bowl halftime show performance has been announced as the one and only Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. There's Bad Bunny. All right.
It's all just so tiresome.
Now, moving on to other things, because who cares? I mean, do you care, Dave? I know neither of us are sports ball guys, but the amount of outrage. Yes, it's a Latino dude, like a Puerto Rican dude in a dress who doesn't sing in English, and he's playing at the Super Bowl halftime show, and the conservatives are outraged, and I'm like, I don't care. Let them do what they want. It's the NFL. They've proven that they're gay so many times in the past, and if the NFL wasn't gay enough to begin with, their marketing has doubled and tripled and quadrupled down, saying we are gay, gay, and then they have they've got another gay guy performing at the halftime show. Well, Coldplay wasn't exactly straight either, but they have another gay guy performing at the halftime show. I don't know, is he like falling down into the pits of hell with like a bunch of pentagrams and shit? Because we've seen shit like that too in the past. There's worse stuff than gay dudes, and at the end of the day, you should know that the Super Bowl halftime show is bought and paid for by whoever the Illuminati is, and they're going to get exactly what they want. Your outrage, and they're getting it right now. And I just have to say, they're not sacrificing kids yet at the halftime show, so I'm going to call it a win and continue to ignore the Super Bowl entirely, and we'll look at the spicy clips in the aftermath. But you got any thoughts on this, Dave?
Not too many. I don't know that guy's music. I saw he was in Happy Gilmore Part 2, so he must be like, incredibly famous.
Sure.
I guess I do have a little bit of sympathy for, middle America, who's like, what the fuck?
What are we doing?
Like, can we please can you give me Aerosmith or some
can you
fucking
please
cover
have
band?
Creed ascend from the skies on the wings of an angel? Or even Madonna with pentagrams. I don't care. Like, we'll take anything. Just make it make sense.
Yeah. No, and it's clear the NFL is a whore. Just a great big whore complex that wants more money. They want to be global audience and all that shit. So that's not surprising. I heard that he was going to leave the United States because he feared that he was going to be deported.
Yep.
But he's Puerto Rican, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. So that might be retarded. Yeah, that might be a silly concern. But I would be really cool if he was performing and like ICE agents came out from like all four corners, like
they were round him up.
People thought it was part of the show. Yeah, they're all like fucking bedazzled out, but guns drawn and shit.
Or maybe they make it part of the show. Donald Trump and his war machine bring in like some sort of awesome drone show that looks like part of the light show, and then they just like skylift him out and just fly him straight on down to wherever he came from. I don't know.
Take notes.
That'd be good TV. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Speaking of good TV, the Pope is in the news for doing some, as he's known to do, heroic shit. Have you heard about the Pope's latest heroic shit, Dave?
No.
The Pope is doing the heroic shit of blessing this ice cube.
I would
Let's
now
watch.
like to invite you to stand for the blessing of the waters.
Wow.
Lord of life, bless this water. May it awaken our hearts, cleanse our indifference, soothe our grief, and renew our hope. Through Christ our Lord.
All right, that's probably enough of that. You got any thoughts on that so far, Dave? Do you have any? Do you understand what was happening there? What was going on?
I heard a fart. What the fuck was that?
Oh, that was me. I added that. Yeah.
You
that was not the
took me out
story
of the
here.
moment,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm sorry. No, he was just blessing an ice cube, and if
What's up with that?
If that doesn't make sense to you, perhaps it helps to inform you that was at the today's Raising Hope for Climate Justice International Conference at Castle Gondolfo. So he was blessing the ice cube to save the polar bears or some shit. And again, like I said, calm down. Heroic shit. I know, but we got to take this in stride. He is God's gift to humanity right there. You think it'll help? You think it'll help Greta go back to school?
Oh, man. See, this is the kind of stuff that kept me away from Christianity, I think, for so long. Motherfuckers blessing just random shit. And being like,
Sure.
It's good now. Listen,
I mean,
I just
the
got
Vatican
this job
is
a couple
known for their
months
pomp
ago.
and circumstance, certainly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have less concern about him blessing an ice cube than the purpose of it being for a political agenda of climate change. That's a,
Well, what greater cause could you possibly align yourself to? What would save the most? If you're the Pope, you want to save the most people, dude. How do you do it?
yeah.
You bless
Save
one
all
big
the
fucking-
Antarcticans out there who are dying as their homes melt or whatever. I don't know how this works, but whatever. We're gonna move on to there's a lot of violence going on in the world, and we're mostly talking about fun stuff today. Mostly Benjamin Netanyahu, which will be fun to make fun of here in a bit at our own peril. But before we do, it's not all light-hearted fun and games, because this happened this week, and you should be frightened.
Hey, America, you're a fucking joke. Hey, Donald Trump, hope you got your cyanide ready. Gotta tell you fucking what, you wanna act like fucking Hitler? We, the American fucking people, are going to treat you as such. Think I'm fucking around? Here. Donald Trump, ready? All the police in the fucking world abide by Donald Trump, which means little bit of fucking thinking for 2 fucking seconds here. That means if the police all around the world are acceptant of Donald Trump and what he's doing, there's a reason why your kids ain't getting saved during school shootings, cause of Donald fucking Trump.
You gotta be able to pune.
Oh, police don't want to risk their lives for a school shooter, but they'll murder your family in cold blood. They'll rape them. They'll kidnap them.
You gotta be able to
Shit, they'll
pune.
plant drugs on you just fucking because they need to make their quota. Step the fuck up. I'll tell you what, and I'll say it. Donald Trump wants to act like a fucking Nazi. He can catch a long-range lobotomy.
It's probably nothing. It's probably fine. Nothing to see here, folks. Just, not banned from any platform as far as I can tell, but just normal behavior. And we're going to talk a little bit later, if we get to it, about Steven Crowder went back on campus today following the Charlie Kirk shooting.
Bro, that's like a self-deport. That's
right?
If you go on TikTok and you say that, it's like a self-deport.
Or an arrest. Yeah. He looks pretty white, so I mean, Donald Trump would probably deport him.
Oh, no. That's what I mean. I don't mean
find
actually
somewhere.
going. It's like the equivalent. Yeah, you're going to jail. That's what I meant.
Sure.
I didn't mean you're
should.
Yeah.
You should. And I'm not one to say speech bad, but when you're, I mean, that's clearly making direct threats, saying I'm not joking, and calling other people to do the same. But I would imagine that guy will continue.
And if you're not crazy,
wonderful TikTok
you're
channel.
retarded.
Yeah. And, Steven Crowder went back on campus today and started his Change My Mind series back up, and he had to do so at a pop-up event that was not promoted in advance, and do so with, as he said, $250,000 of security, and got some good conversation out of it. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but his main topic of discussion was the left is, or what was it? The left is violent. Change my mind. Like, that was it. The left is violent. And then we got people like this. And he points to a lot of cases, similar cases of people directly calling for violence. And we've seen it from Maxine Waters and everybody else. But this guy, and, the media has made Donald Trump and the Charlie Kirks and all the rest of anybody who's right wing of Bernie Sanders out to be literally Hitler, literally Hitler, literally Hitler. Well, this guy's just saying, well, if you are literally Hitler in my mind, because my mind is broken to the point that I believe that you are literally Hitler, and since you are literally Hitler, then we should treat you as such. And he goes on to describe what should happen to such people. So you can say that it's left and right, and everybody needs to cool the temperatures and whatnot, and I'm not trying to echo Steven Crowder, really, because I disagree with him on a whole lot of shit, but he's right when he says that it's definitely much more the left than the right. The right's not innocent by any stretch, but when it comes to like the Charlie Kirk thing, show us any case on the opposite side where there's been a right-wing person who has, or anybody on the left who has been assassinated in cold blood because they had the wrong opinions. Not a politician, just a left-wing commentator who has been assassinated for his views. No matter who you think did it or didn't do it, doesn't matter. But the media has been calling, conspiracy theorists and right-wingers and libertarians and everybody Nazis, fascists, white supremacists for the last, we're pushing 20 years at this point with this whole Donald Trump arc even, that if you call people Hitler long enough, some people clearly get to the point where they not only believe it, but they believe that it is justified to carry out the actions that you would against Hitler, which brings me to, and we can roll this right on into it, completely unrelated, brings me to my next topic of things that happened this week, which is this.
Within an hour, it's going to be Jones goes full Nazi, endorses Hitler. Now, when all these comedians do it, it's great, and they do it in movies, it's fine. But they think you're stupid. They will misrepresent and say that I am now a National Socialist, National Socialist Workers Party. That is absolutely not true.
All right. Now, Alex Jones did that. He did the Hitler stash and then went on a bunch of rants about how he's not a Hitler supporter, but he was, by his words, he was making fun of how the media calls him Hitler, calls us all Hitler every day if we have, any particular views. If Alex Jones had done this 2 years ago, 1 year ago, I'd be like, it seems like, and you know me, I don't trust anybody, including Alex Jones, and I still think he's Bill Hicks, but it would seem to me like a year ago that Alex Jones is trying to get everybody to look like Hitler supporters by doing this. But at this point, I'm on his side on this one. Like, yeah, make the joke, do the thing, let them screech and wreathe. They're going to anyway. They're going to for way less than this. So, yeah, make the joke. And as evidenced by that last clip before this, people have come to the conclusion that right of Bernie Sanders is literally Hitler anyway. So where do you think we're at on this, Dave? Was Alex Jones right to do this? Was the guy who is up against the modern-day Hitler right to call for violence?
Was Alex Jones right to do that? Well, I mean, that's what he does. He kind of gets out there, or he's historically has anyway, kind of, make a mockery.
I mean,
of
in the past, you and I feel like in the past, if this had come up, you and I would have been like, it seems like bait, like he's trying to make us all look like Nazis by doing this. That's where my mind would have gone to like a year or two ago. But now I'm like, no, I get it. I get what he's doing here at this point.
And I'm so kind of like hot or cold with Alex Jones over the past couple years. So it's hard to tell. I went to go see him with Heiss. He came out with Tucker Carlson and Jack Posobiec and did like a fucking stadium tour.
Yeah.
And it was fucking cool. It was like, right before Trump got elected. Very, very exciting time.
Yeah.
And obviously his contributions, like, honestly, I put him up there with like the stuff I learned and what he like unveiled and talked about when nobody else was, up there with, honestly, like Julian Assange, as far as important journalists of the 20th century.
Yeah.
Putting it out there right now. But ever since the Trump thing, I just can't tell if he's a double agent or not.
Yep.
And
the first Trump thing. And then all the Trump things along the way.
Right. And he still says, like any good psyop, there's going to be lots of truths mixed in with, like falsehoods, or just even if it's not false, like he's definitely seemed like he's been on the pro-Trump side lately, even though he tries to kind of, much like Charlie Kirk, like I have this audience that kind of knows what's up.
Yep.
But I also
demanding
have
me go and talk about things that I'm not comfortable talking about.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that he's, just playing it safe, and I'm a grandfather now or whatever, and I got to do what I got to do, and I'm going to kind of toe the line and still get to do my show. And that's probably sounds like a good deal for a guy at his state, at his lot in life. So you can't like take everything that he says, seriously anymore.
Sure.
I think.
And I mean, anybody, including us who have a show, you have some sort of agenda to some degree, like your own opinions that you're pushing and your through line for all of it that you think is probably the most likely. I'm not saying he's controlled necessarily. I'm just saying keep an eye on everybody. And if I was, Alex Jones, at this point, if you're like trying to avoid the Israel topic because you're afraid of being called this or that, then you're just ignoring the main news. Like the main news of the day is that, so you have to talk about it at some point. And a lot of people are shitting their pants that they have avoided those topics as much as they possibly can. And if you are one of those people that have found yourself shitting your pants because you're too scared to talk about Israel, then you should try Sheath underwear. My friends, do yourselves a favor and elevate your daily comfort with Sheath underwear. The innovative dual pouch design provides unparalleled support and separation, ensuring each part of you has the space it deserves. Your balls.
That's right. He's talking about your balls. Experience the sophistication of a design that respects your anatomy. The moisture wicking technology sets a new standard in comfort for your balls. The advanced system not only keeps you cool, but also prevents chafing and odor, swamp balls, things of that nature, making every movement feel effortless, really.
Effortless, like you're gliding on the surface of the moon for the first time man has walked on the moon. The first time man has glided their balls on the moon. So go to sheathunderwear.com and use the promo code SYSTEM at checkout. Experience the perfect blend of comfort and functionality with Sheath. Again, that's sheathunderwear.com and use the promo code SYSTEM. And also, Mycadelics. Connect with nature's wisdom through Mycadelics Mushroom Grow Bags by Tyson 2.0 and Shroom. Now you can cultivate your own sacred mushrooms at home.
That's right. The all-in-one kits guide you on a transformative journey. So just add the liquid culture, witness the miracle of growth. The advanced filter technology preserves purity and gets you multiple harvests in like 4 to 6 weeks.
That's right. So go to advancedmago.com and use the promo code SYSTEM to save $5 at checkout. Embrace mindfulness and spiritual nourishment. Bring your mushroom journey begin your mushroom journey, I should say, as I naturally do. Begin your mushroom journey with Mycadelics grow bags today.
That's right. Must be 21 or older. May experience psychedelic effects.
And finally, Perfect Spiral. Are you tired of the corporate banking cartel and state-rigged marketers stealing your wealth? Break free from those riggers with Perfect Spiral Capital. They'll help you build riches on your terms, not their terms, whoever they are. So go get outside their grip with Perfect Spiral.
That's right. Invest like a dissident. Ditch the system. Own your future. No handouts, no bailouts, just real results.
The system is rigged, my friends. It's all sorts of rigged. All sorts of riggers all over the place. And inflation is eating your savings. Opt out now and stack real assets with Perfect Spiral. Build wealth that lasts.
Perfect Spiral Capital. No bullshit. No red tape. Just smart strategies for serious people who want freedom and financial sovereignty.
So join the rebellion at perfectspiralcapital.com/system. And we are back. Now, moving on, we got to talk about Benjamin Netanyahu, a guy that we weren't even allowed to talk about, it seems like, only just a year or two ago. And now they won't allow us not to talk about him. And it's not my fault. I would love to not talk about him. It's not just because he's in the news all the time because of all the genocide and all the war and all that stuff that he's doing. I mean, that obviously is the main thing, but we didn't even talk about that much. We're not like the Scott Hortons. We're not like the foreign affairs guys that are digging deep into the war stuff. Go check out Scott Horton if you want that. But at this point, you have no choice but to talk about him because he's on this fucking PR media tour. He's going on podcasts. He's meeting with social media kids to influencers to let them know here's how you need to talk about us. This is the way that we love America, and you need to push how much we love. Okay, he came to the White House again this week, and I think even in the speech that he gave, he's like, I want to thank Donald Trump for once again having me to the White. Like, even he was like, this is getting to be a little bit fucking ridiculous at this point. I cannot believe you guys are still falling for this in his speech. But I don't care about his speech, really. I'm sure he begged for a bunch of money so he can blow up more brown kids or something. And all the Republicans will hoot and holler for it. And all the Democrats will be like, no, it's bad because Donald Trump says it's good or whatever. But I think it's more important that he met with these social media influencers because that's fucking weird no matter how you slice it for a foreign diplomat to come and be like, all right, I'm not only going to go to the White House, I'm going to sit down with all these teenagers who have big followings on the internet, and I'm going to tell them why they need to support this foreign government. Here's a little bit of him meeting with the kids and hello, fellow influencers.
So something I would like to raise, which was actually my first published paper, was how you and the Likud party are cut from the same ideological cloth as Trump and the GOP in America. And so specifically with Charlie Kirk's assassination, who was a big mentor of mine, who's my first mentor in the space.
I didn't kill him, I swear.
From all my research, evangelicals are the reason that Israel has been supported in public sphere outside of just Jews. So with Charlie's assassination and with the kind of trajectory that we see with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel. What's our backup plan to be strong, like outside of the diaspora?
Christian influencers. Okay, you said we talked about the woke right, and you said I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant. The woke right, because these people, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're loonies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things.
All right, there's more to it, but we gotta at least pause and address James Lindsay's proudest moment of his entire life when his stupid bullshit woke right thing that has been laughable for the last 6 months finally made its way all the way up to Benjamin Netanyahu being like, the woke Reich, actually, because as we all know, they're no different than the woke left. Okay, well, that still doesn't make sense how the Reich comes in as your explanation if they're no different than the woke left. But it's, as we all know, and it's been painfully obvious to anybody who's been paying attention, the entire woke right thing has just been a way for supposed Republicans and right-wingers like James Lindsay, who just got here like 30 seconds ago, was a left-winger like yesterday. He comes over, now he's an influencer for the Republicans because he's a convert, and so now he's the one who gets to decide if you think this way about these topics and you're anywhere on the right wing of the spectrum, then you're the woke right, because we don't think those things over here on the right where I just got to. It's the cancel culture bullshit, and it's James Lindsay's team of yesteryear tactics taken over into the right wing, and it all boils down to Israel at this point. It's really just anything that's anti-war, and Israel happens to fall into the Trump regime is currently pushing for whatever war Benjamin Netanyahu wants, and there are some right-wingers and left-wingers and centrists and libertarians and everybody else who looks at that war and says, that's stupid, and I don't want my money going to that war. And they've been saying that the entire time because they never wanted to get into another war, and Donald Trump specifically said, I'm the peace president. I just want the dying to stop. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, blah, blah, blah. I just want this to end. And then he, time after time, has Benjamin Netanyahu back to the White House and then does exactly what he says, gives them a bunch of money so that they can have their defensive strategy against Gaza or Qatar or Iran or whoever we're scared of today. I got off on a ramble, and I don't remember where I was going with that. But it's all kind of falling apart at this point, and it's evidenced by the fact that he has to meet with influencers and say, trust me, this is good. But then the influencers that they hand select, I'm sure, show up and ask questions like, the Christians seem to think that what you're doing is bullshit. What do we do about that? Well, that's the woke right. That's just the woke right that we're talking about there. That's not the smart ones, and they're no different from the left. It's all just a propaganda bullshit tactic, and it's been a really bad one from the start, because it's completely the inversion of the woke left, because the people who are against the regime now are being called woke because they don't like it, and because they don't like what's going on with this war. And so they're being called anti-Semites by people like James Lindsay. And now we've got Benjamin Netanyahu telling all the kids, he's right, James Lindsay is right, and anybody who disagrees with Israel is the woke Reich. We're going to step it up a notch. And he is now going to call them Nazis. Anybody who disagrees with this war is a Nazi, according to him, which, brings us back to the last conversation. But Dave, any thoughts so far on this?
Man. Yeah, obviously, Netanyahu is a terrible person, but it's kind of exciting that he feels the need to spend upwards of $7,000 a tweet for fucking some bitch like James Lindsay to fire something off about the woke Reich.
Right.
Shut the fuck up, nerd. Look, thank you, man. You're on it. But what an incredible career you could have. And dude, I saw that Dinesh D'Souza just interviewed I just sat
Laura
down
Loomer.
for like a heart-to-heart with Laura Loomer. It's like, dude, you're smart enough to not be a piece of shit.
Right.
Laura Loomer might just be so fucking dumb and empty inside that she never had a shot and she's just like some soulless ghoul.
Yeah.
But you've made motion pictures and made good points about things before, and you're extremely articulate. You can look at pictures on the internet and know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
This is evil, dude.
Yeah.
And anybody who's just still on some you probably saw that blonde influencer with the fucking Bill Bellamy gay guy walking down the street.
That's next, Dave. Hold on.
Okay. But here we're recognizing the pattern here. They're not setting their best.
Mm-hmm.
James Lindsay, this is a faggot. This is a real fucking loser of epic proportion. And it's like he gets ratioed all the time. And it's not because there's a crazy uprising of woke
To be
right
clear, he's
on
a
the
straight
internet.
faggot. We have no reason to believe that he's a homosexual. But he is a faggot.
I usually don't call gay people faggots. I try not to do that.
He is pretty gay, though, but he is not a homosexual to my knowledge.
You ever seen him swing that sword around, though?
I have.
Gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're spending that money. They just got their boy Larry Ellison, who donates millions and millions of dollars every year to IDF to buy TikTok. So they are going to that video that
we're all like, we can't have China running TikTok because they're dangerous. They're a dangerous foreign country that's going to spy on us, and they spy on us and whatnot. And maybe Israel, they should do it.
Bro, within seconds of uploading my Charlie Kirk captions video of him on Patrick Bet David talking about the first 6 hours of October 7th, talking about the stand down shit. That was flagged immediately. Sorry, against our community standards. Sorry.
Yeah, of course it was. Yep. As China's known to do. Yeah. The evil was fine. It was fine. I mean, China has our data anyway. TikTok wasn't doing anything new. But as you mentioned, Israel is paying for these influencers $7,000 per post, to which my response naturally was, I love Israel. I love Israel. I love Israel. I love Israel. And I do. I love Israel. If you want to pay me $7,000 per post, I will post Israeli flags along with bombs and bomb emojis and eggplant emojis all day long to further your cause. But they're doing that. And also, as you mentioned, this, as what many are speculating is the first of the $7,000 Israel influencers here. Here's what we got. Rolling it out. Here's
Imagine supporting people who start wars just to lose the wars so they can cry about it and then try it all again.
You must see anti-Semites are literally obsessed with Jews. Now walk with me. While you must see anti-Semites are stacking eviction notices, Jews are out here stacking up businesses.
Jews control all the industries. Maybe if you spent more time taking notes from successful
Jews run the world. Why are you such an anti-Semite?
people, you wouldn't have to
Quit
spend
being
your
a hater.
weekend spreading hate from your anonymous account with an anime profile picture.
Do you work as hard as Jews? Do you network like Jews? No, because you're too busy cheering on a group of musty terrorists who smell like dirty earring backs. And if we're gonna keep it real, you're really mad because your income is giving side hustle.
Period.
How you gonna hate from outside, Shabbat? You can't even get in.
All right. So that's what we're going with. That's the propaganda. Well-spent U.S. tax dollars that went to Israel, that went from Israel back to America to influence American influencers to support Israel, and this is what they came up with. Your tax dollars hard at work. We've got a white woman with a Jewish star necklace on and a very gay black dude with bleach blonde hair acting like catty, insufferable bitches, informing you that you are a musty anti-Semite and you stink. You stink, and also, you're just jealous because Jews run everything, and you're poor and stupid and don't know how to run things like Jews run everything. Do you think they sent a script, or do you think they were just like, hey, go talk about Israel, you make it up, and then this is what the retards came up with? Like, you know what the people will love? If we insult them, call them poor, and then say Jews run everything, so you should support Jews and stop being a terrible person. What do you think, Dave? Were you swayed by this piece of propaganda here?
No, triggered by this, bro. But not because of their, obviously this is the same message we've been getting, just so much gayer, and it was cringe
and lazier,
and like that chick is hot. She could make so much money doing any number of things. Your lot in life could be fine. Go be a model.
Got a bit of a loomer look to her,
but you have to be right. She could. It's probably all fake. But my point,
she doesn't wear that darkest sunglasses for no reason.
Her soul is dog shit, just like Laura Loomer and that guy who was walking next to them. And just again, we talk a lot about Israel and the crimes of that government, but we're not out here screaming about the Jays. I'm not saying nobody is, but it seems like they want to make it about that.
Yep.
They want that to be the thing so that they can.
This ad feels like bait at best, but it doesn't feel intentional. I don't know. Maybe they're just playing 25D chess and this is intentional bait, but it just feels like lazy propaganda to me.
They definitely, it felt like they're both retarded.
Yep. Vapid, here's $7,000. Go make a video about us. That's what they came up with. I want to see the reaction video. I want to get a YouTube channel of Benjamin Netanyahu's reactions to all of the vapid left-wing propaganda that is paid for and comes out in support of Israel. I want to see just his first time, his immediate reaction to all right, here's another one. Then he sits there, he's like, oh shit, fuck. They did it again. I want that channel. I would subscribe immediately, and I would pay the extra $10 if there's behind-the-scenes content. But continuing the Bibi Flail here. So last week or the week before or whatever, there's been several times since Charlie Kirk's assassination that Benjamin Netanyahu has felt the need to come out of the woodwork to let everybody know that he did not kill Charlie Kirk. And he needs to let you know that he did not kill Charlie Kirk, which I've never said that he killed Charlie Kirk, and I don't think I've seen anybody directly say that he killed Charlie Kirk, but he felt the need to say it. He was on Fox News during some of his PR shit this last week, and this point, I haven't seen the whole interview or anything, but this point, I'm going to play a little bit leading up to it so you can see that this point feels to come out of nowhere, but he still felt the need to bring it up and say it. Here we go.
President Trump has been an incredible ally of Israel, incredible friend. We've had no one like him. What he did in his first term in recognizing Jerusalem as our capital, moving the American embassy there, recognizing our sovereignty over the Golan Heights, getting out of the disastrous Iran deal, and then, of course, now joining us in the effort to prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons by taking out some of these nuclear sites with us. I think it's great. I read somewhere this ridiculous, this ridiculous slide. President Trump does what he does because he decides what's in America's best interest. And I've said this often, I don't decide a thing for President Trump. He is the most independent leader, an amazing leader that I've seen in all my years, and I think many people in the world see that. So the idea that in any ways that I boast that I control him, that's ridiculous. It's a lie. And I never, not only did I not say it, I don't think it. I think America's blessed with a very strong and independent leader.
I not only don't say it, I don't think it. I've never thought about thinking it. The thoughts never crossed my mind until somebody on the internet. I was just scrolling through some of the YouTube comments, and somebody said it, and I just wanted to let you all know that's a complete and absolute fabrication of the truth. I've never controlled Donald Trump. Donald Trump controls himself. I don't call him on a regular basis. I don't show up to the White House every couple weeks or so to let him know how much more money we need. I definitely do not control him. Please stop saying that I control him. Here's $7,000. Please shut up. Any thoughts, Dave?
Dude, just imagine how ignorant you have to be. It's almost funny. Here's this guy representing the most, dude, the Mossad is just known for taking people out that don't do what they want. That's what they're known to do. And the idea that Israel just loves free and independent presidents and I just love to watch them flourish when they're so free and independent. We don't need, we don't control
We're not
anybody
asking for anything. We just love everything that you give us always.
It's as if they wouldn't murder him if he didn't. It's preposterous.
I love Donald Trump right now. I love Donald Trump. He's saying all the right things, and he's a great guy, and I don't control him. I do not control him. I love him because he's saying all the right things. If he doesn't do the right things, I still don't control him. Just know that,
Amazing. It's just too silly.
And it's a flail. It's such a flail. The second this was 4 weeks ago. The second he started going on the little podcasters and shit and being like, I'm just a man of the people. When has that ever happened before? I don't think we talked about that enough, but when has that ever happened before? It feels like such an obvious flail, and he is a master at composure and just saying what needs to be said in any context or in any situation. And here, whether or not anybody's listening to him, here he is talking to the UN and about genocide and how he feels, how his feelings get hurt when we call the genocide a genocide.
Those who peddled the blood libels of genocide and starvation against Israel are no better than those who peddled blood libels against the Jews in the Middle Ages when they falsely accused us of poisoning wells, spreading plague,
it's very similar,
and using the blood of children to bake Passover matzahs.
Okay.
Anti-Semitism dies hard In fact, it doesn't die at all. It just keeps coming back with its libelous lies.
Seen a pattern, huh?
Regurgitated over and over again.
It's probably just everybody else.
Those who peddled the blood libels of genocide and starvation against Israel are no...
All right. So if you peddle genocide and starvation, you are the same as the people of the... I mean, this is always the thing that they, and by they, I mean whoever uses it at all, go to. Like, be it the leaders of Israel, the government, or be it anybody of any belief who uses, that's blood libel, you can't possibly say that. Yes, I am saying it in what's his name, Rabbi Shmuley voice. You can't possibly say that to our people, because that's blood libel. Like, everything you say, like, that's a bad thing. Well, that's blood libel. That's like when they said that we were witches and we were eating babies. Like, why are you saying that? I'm just saying that thing that you're doing, that I don't like that thing that you're doing, and you're turning it into, why are you saying that Jews eat babies? Like, all of these things are just like with the, I definitely don't control Trump, or, what was the thing earlier? I don't know. I had another point. But just the over-explaining of everything that people feel like they have to do. Like, I didn't say that you were eating babies. I didn't say that Jews eat babies. I said that thing that I watched happen on Twitter happened, where you blew up a bunch of innocent civilians in Gaza. And you're like, well, then you're saying that I'm eating children. I wasn't. Are you saying that you're eating children? What's happening here? It's always just the go-to. No matter how much evil happens, no matter how much evil is carried out, they are Benjamin Netanyahu and the government of Israel are the victims every single time. And at this UN meeting, everybody walked out, is what's being reported. Like, a whole lot of people. He was talking to an empty room by the end of it because people are fed up with this shit. That's what I'm hearing. And this is from Fox News, big Israeli supporters, I'm sure. Breaking: UN delegates from multiple nations walked out of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's General Assembly address, and I call that a win. You know who else calls that a win? Supporters of Benjamin Netanyahu, because they put out things like this meme: when the lion enters the room, the hyenas scatter. You cleared a room with your speech, and we're still calling it a win. I am the victim, because if you say I'm doing bad things, that's your fault, and you're an evil anti-Semite. And also, I am the winner, because everybody left the room because they can't handle the bold truths that I'm putting out into the world as the lion against all these evil UN hyenas. Any thoughts, Dave?
Well, dude, we know that demons like to use the doublespeak. It seems clear to me that you use the word victim. Oh, he's the victim. He's the victim. Like the entire culture kind of runs on that, right? Like when they say that they want to kill anti-Semitism, it like everything else in the Upside Down is the exact opposite, because that is the currency by which they thrive. Yeah. The more he gets to say that's anti-Semitic, that's anti-Semitic, everything, every criticism of the government is anti-Semitism, then you've got a real, like, that's a winning recipe for them. It's like it's like a get out of jail free card every time. You just put that. They put that meme out. Oh, you scatter, like nobody in the room is left because you're such a piece of shit. But like, oh, you're in the presence of greatness is the way you spin it. It's just like, wow. It's really insulting.
You guys can't handle this bullshit. That's on you.
Yeah.
Your stomach's too weak for the bullshit that I'm putting out there, you weak bastards. It's amazing.
Mm.
Now, I don't know that much about these, so we'll skim through them. Apparently, when Benjamin Netanyahu was doing his visit, there was a Secret Service SUV that caught fire outside the White House. I don't know if this is a thing or not a thing. Let me know, but there's the picture. Seems a little sus, at the very least. Also, there was a TPUSA event over the last week where there was a suspicious package and possible bomb threat found at the Utah State University ahead of TPUSA. There was an evacuation ordered. Bomb squad arrived and appeared to have detonated it. they can be heard shouting, "Fire in the hole," before an explosion was heard. Let's hear it. Sure is what that sounds like, but, things aren't heating up out there, probably. Some stuff that I didn't see any coverage of this in any of the headlines or anything. It seems pertinent to know that when Netanyahu visited a car, an SUV for the Secret Service caught fire, and when the Turning Point USA event happened, there was a bomb that was detonated. I don't know what's happening in the world, but it's not looking great. Any thoughts?
No, I have no opinion on those things. Because I don't
either.
know.
Yeah, there's not much there yet.
I have no context. But that, obviously, if I haven't been clear about this over the past couple of weeks, if Netanyahu isn't involved, I'm already, yeah. I mean, I would defer to, like, that sounds shady that, like, you're visiting right now.
Yeah.
What do you got? Some beepers in there that went awry? Like what?
Who knows? We do have a bit more on Netanyahu, and possibly a bit more on Charlie Kirk, and we could keep this going, but we are going to switch to the after party at some point. We'll get through this. But if you were attending a Turning Point USA event and you were in the wrong place at the wrong time and got injured in any sort of way, hypothetically, then you should contact Lone Star Injury Attorneys.
The great William Shakespeare once said, "First thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers." That's right. It is common knowledge that literally no one in the known universe actually likes lawyers. That is, until they're saving your ass. Max the Axe at Lone Star Injury Attorneys is a professional ass saver. A rare breed, though he be a lawyer, he is indeed a principled libertarian, a defender of the injured and downtrodden, a supportive, faithful Downers Club member, my personal favorite, and a shockingly kind and hospitable fellow at an award-winning personal injury law firm. So if you've been injured on the job in an automobile accident or some other form of cattywampus beyond your personal control, visit LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com or just Google Max the Axe for maximum results. Consultations are free and you don't pay a single dime unless you win. Go with the pros at LoneStarInjuryAttorneys.com and get your ass covered.
Back. Big old smoking gun came out this last week involving Charlie Kirk. Not the gun that was used to shoot Charlie Kirk, but this smoking gun that came out of nowhere, and I just don't care. Breaking, the letter Charlie Kirk wrote to Prime Minister Netanyahu has been released. In it, Charlie wrote of his deep love for Israel and providing advice to Netanyahu on how to counter rising opposition to the Jewish state in the U.S. You can read through this if you want. I'm sure it is a very glowing endorsement. I'm sure it is very happily praising Netanyahu. I'm sure it is giving him some advice on how Netanyahu can counter some of the waning support of Israel in the United States. I'm sure those things are all entirely true. This is not a Democrat hoax. Now, when was it written and when was it sent? Was it like a couple weeks before Charlie Kirk died? Was it like the day Charlie Kirk died, the day before? When was this? You notice it's not dated as far as I can tell. There's no date on this note. It's just a note that he wrote at some point to Benjamin Netanyahu. And, yes, probably, because everybody knows, and nobody has denied, that Charlie Kirk was a massive supporter of Israel, possibly the biggest influencer support in the United States for Israel that the United States has seen in a decade. Up until like the last month before he mysteriously got shot in the neck on live TV. I don't know if these things are related. I don't know if when this came out, they didn't seem to feel the need to address that in any way. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that he wrote a glowing letter to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at some point. I need to know when it is to know if this has any bearing, any relevance at all. But last week we talked about, in the last couple of weeks, lots of people have talked about the $150 million from Israel that supposedly Charlie Kirk was offered and turned down shortly before he died. We don't have to play the clip, but allegedly, according to Charlie Kirk's co-host, that never happened. He has never taken any money from any foreign government directly. There was no $150 million thing. And I'm not saying that like I have some sort of smoking gun behind that. I don't know. He knows better than I do, obviously. Whether he's telling the truth or not, I don't know. But he says that there was no $150 million deal. So I say we can take that off the table for now. Doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't there or that he's running cover, but I don't know this guy from Adam. I have no reason to not trust that he's telling the truth. And I know that around this Charlie Kirk killing, everybody has used it, much like all the other things. Everybody has used it for their agenda to push what they think is the truth. So if it's not true that he was offered $150 million from Israel and turned it down, okay, that's fine. It doesn't change who killed Charlie Kirk at all, but it does change some of the circumstances. But are you buying it, Dave? Are you buying the letter? Are you buying the $150 million non-existent stuff? Or where are you at on this?
No, I'm not buying the letter, and it's not because it's impossible that he ever wrote him a letter, but like you said, there's some key items missing from that. And even if it is legit, why are you giving that to me right now?
Right.
Why do I need to see this?
Right. Why does Netanyahu need to convince us that he's a good guy?
Unbelievable, dude. And unfortunately, I was not a Charlie Kirk follower when he was on this earth. I wish that I was. I regret that. But I don't have the impression that I get is that he was trying to keep it real and do good things and was a real Christian. So if all those things are true, you're going to, if you achieve that kind of influence and power, it's going to be really tough for you. You're going to be faced with some decisions. And I just don't think that everybody is cut from the same cloth where I'm sure he's surrounded by good people, but if they were pressed, I'm just not sure that they're maybe as dedicated as him. So unfortunately I can't really trust what anybody around him says, including his family. I just can't.
You talking about Erica, Dave?
Because
I did have a couple Erica clips. We might move them over into the after party where we're talking about dumb women mostly. Not that it's related, but we might not have time to get to it here, but we might carry it over there. Now, I did mention, there was the Erica Kirk clip a couple of weeks ago of her, with the body in the casket and all that stuff, and we talked about, is it too soon to not have an autopsy? And I was like, I don't know. Could they have had an autopsy within 4 days for a celebrity that the vice president's working with? I don't know, possibly. But
bro, do you know that they bulldozed that site at that university and
get
put up
to
a
it,
new
Dave? But first, we got to talk about the
Amazing.
autopsy. That's next. And it was going to see, here it is in the tabs where it was going to transfer so fluidly into the next cover up that they're doing. But real quick, here's the autopsy report.
So I did do the request. They emailed me back. He did not go in for an autopsy. The death certificate was signed by the doctor at the hospital.
Oh, okay. Can you just do a field clip documenting that?
I'm sorry, 10-9?
Can you just add a step to the case documenting that there was no autopsy?
Yeah, 287, I'll be clear to the hospital.
I need an officer at Timpanogos Hospital to come stage in the emergency room bay.
Jesse just told me that
I don't know, a lot of muttering, but it sounds like there was, in fact, a non-autopsy, and I was correct that there was not, and we can mull over whether or not that's suspicious, but let's go ahead and tie this in there with Dave's prompting, and I was going to anyway, but here is where they're just going to tear down the site, as universities do, where there's a crime scene and a historic landmark, some might say at this point, on the campus. They're just going to rip up the floor, tear down the ceilings even of the site, it looks like. And I don't know, does this seem like normal maintenance to anybody? I think there's another one here. Nope, that's the next thing. Never mind. But yes, as far as I can tell, you're right, Dave. They're kind of bulldozing the site. They're 9/11 it, and they're probably going to ship all the materials off to China and some landfill somewhere that we'll never hear of again. But it's just normal university stuff, I'm sure, on crime scenes to tear everything down and start from scratch, right?
Dude, that's terrifying. Again, I heard that like that area is a hotbed for like deep state activity, but like imagine like, yeah, why would it be out of the realm of possibility that like you could get that shit? Like what an operation. This is one more piece. For me, this is another piece. If we're building a case that there's a cover up, that it's not, there wasn't just a murder, an unfortunate killing there, an assassination. There's a cover up. Cause that, yeah, why the fuck else would you do that, dude? So all the shit about another lone gunman. Just one crazy nut job
with a magic bullet.
Right. And people are just gonna buy it, dude.
Yeah.
Just
now,
like they.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna bring up another thing. Because lone gunman, there's still like a million theories coming out every single day. Everybody's got a different angle and a different pixelation problem that definitely proves this or definitely proves that. I did want to bring this one up at least because it seems odd. That camera behind him that everybody's pointing out. Apparently or allegedly there's something that drops from it, which some people are saying is a shell casing. We can just watch it so we can get it on the record for the annals of history, because who knows which ones of these videos will stand the test of time.
Great. On gang violence. Great. On gang violence.
Definitely looks like something falls out of that vicinity. I don't know if that's a gun or if that's a shell casing. Everything that we're looking at is this black speck is definitely what I'm saying it is, and that black speck that falls out of it is definitely what I'm saying it is, and that black speck doesn't make sense. We're looking at pixels versus other pixels, and everybody is claiming to know that they know what happened, and I don't know what happened, but just a little, no, maybe I'll save that. No, I'm going to say that for the end. Was the shell casing theory compelling enough for you, Dave, in that little short clip of a black speck falling out of a black speck?
Unfortunately, no, dude. But that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It just means that I'm like
I don't
said
have a better
couple of shows
explanation,
ago,
but yeah.
Like I'm convinced that there was a large scale operation to assassinate Charlie Kirk because of his power and influence.
Yeah.
And I'm not as concerned with where the bullet came from. All the, the gunman theory. People have been doing that with JFK for 70 years.
Yeah.
No, sorry, not that long, but 63,
whatever
ish. So that's all well and good, but like I would rather find the sort who funded that.
Right.
I cared less about the hijackers on 9/11, and I'm more interested in who funded the hijackers.
Absolutely. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we do have to bring this in. Following the Charlie Kirk assassination, there were a lot of conservative influencers, especially people like, Ben Shapiro came out and had one of my favorite statements from Ben Shapiro, which is a very low bar over the last couple of years. He said, I will go back to college campuses, and I will do the thing in honor of Charlie Kirk, and I will flatten these children in their petty debates. So that was his plan. He still hasn't done it, to my understanding. Steven Crowder did not say that he was going back to his change my mind thing up until yesterday. He announced that he was on campus and that it would be coming out within 24 hours. It did come out today. He had some good conversations. He spent $250,000, according to him, on security in order to have these conversations. And there was one clip in the middle of it.
For the day?
Yep. He had, he had bulletproof glass. He had vests. He had guards. He had perimeters and shit. And quite frankly, I don't blame him. And I do think, I don't even say this in a bad way, I do think this is a PR stunt to some degree. I don't think that if I were Steven Crowder, I'd be going on college campuses without this level of security, but there's still like a level of it that's like brilliant not even propaganda, but brilliant marketing. Not a bad thing. Brilliant marketing to be like, fuck you, going onto campuses, gonna pay all the money that I need to prove my point that the left is violent, because I shouldn't need to pay $250,000 to be behind plexiglass and having conversations on college campuses. But in the middle of all of these conversations, go watch for yourself to hear the full context. But in the middle of all of it, he took a second to address the problem with college campuses in general, beyond, the violence and whatnot, but the education system. And I thought it was worth a share.
But the more I went on campus, the more I saw the failures of the institutions. And I want to be really clear about something. This was never designed to mock, denigrate, or dunk on students who don't know any better. It was always designed to highlight the failures of the institutions, because I was dumbfounded as to the fact when leftists would sit down that this was the first time they were hearing mainstream conservative views. So it was always about highlighting the failures of institutions, and that includes media, but certainly academia. And that's why the next step, and something we've been trying to put together for a long time, but no one has agreed to do so, and why I'll be announcing this publicly and reading it out, we're actually going to be starting or calling for formal debates with professors at schools. And the only way we can think to get these people to show up is to offer up $10,000 to the school for whatever cause of their choice, to their institution. And so we have reached out, and any Tom, Dick, Harry, or Karen who will respond and take the $10,000 offered up as a charitable contribution in any of the departments of political science or liberal arts at the University of Texas, at Kansas University, UCLA, Cal Berkeley, Stanford, USC, Penn State, Columbia, NYU, Harvard, Boston University, any of their esteemed professors in these schools who are willing to have a debate with a college dropout comedian. They can name the time, the place, pick the moderator, and the rules. It should be an easy day out. And I encourage anyone who has any friends at these institutions, or if you have an association, to encourage their professors to do so. Or we can have a civil dialogue and maybe get to the root cause as to why you've been failed as students. You've been failed. It's time to go straight to the top to the people who failed you. We'll announce this publicly and post this list publicly, and I'll update you guys. If anyone reaches back out, no luck yet. I very much appreciate you doing the work that your professors, in many cases, refuse to do.
Yeah. So basically, Steven Crowder went onto campus and said, you guys want to shoot us? Try shooting me on the stage with your professor in the auditorium at your campus. And if your college professor isn't willing to have that debate because they're too scared of a college dropout comedian douchebag on the internet who is an evil person, like if his views are so stupid, then of course the college professor in the liberal arts or political science should be able to debate a college dropout comedian. And if they're not willing to do that, then they're a fucking coward and probably shouldn't be listened to as a college professor. Now, if that's not good enough, then I'll give you $10,000 to a charity of your choice just for you to step on a stage and talk to me and have me talk about how you're wrong about things. So essentially, Steven Crowder could be funding some, like, I don't know, like trans awareness for the youth program or whatever. Like if it's a program of the college professor's choice, that or a charity of their choice, it could be something directly that Steven Crowder even directly doesn't agree with, but he's like, I'll give you $10,000, come on stage and talk to you. That's all. Like, I'm asking nothing but a conversation from your most brilliant minds, and so far nobody has done it. So I personally think this is brilliant, especially with the ramping up of the violence and whatnot on the campuses that seems to be happening, for him to be like, I'm going to bring it to you on your grounds, your moderator, your even your topic of discussion in your place. As long as it's safe, I'll be there, and yeah, I'll pay you to do it. And yeah, if you're still a fucking coward, then maybe this whole thing's bullshit from the start. I think it's brilliant, and I've given Steven Crowder a whole lot of shit. Again, from a marketing standpoint, it is brilliant. It is a bit of a I'm just gonna say it's brilliant. I can see what he's doing. He's playing off the Charlie Kirk thing. I'm not going to say he's a grifter because this is what he's done all along, but he's using the Charlie Kirk thing to be like, fuck you, I'm going back onto college campuses, and I'm going harder this time. And I give him props. Any thoughts, Dave?
Yeah, I feel like he's subtly saying, first of all, you're absolutely right. It's a marketing thing and it's brilliant and all that. But I feel like without saying it, he's basically like, I loved Charlie Kirk, but I invented this shit. Don't fucking forget that.
Sure.
Changed my mind. That meme is me. Don't forget that. Changed my mind. That's me.
Yep.
So I loved that when I saw that he is back on campuses and doing that. I didn't know he spent $250,000 on security. I will be honest. I think like if you have to do that, then you might not be ready to do it yet, or you should have I'm not saying you shouldn't roll deep with security and spend some money on that.
Yeah.
But that is excessive
Not
and
ready
ridiculous.
to do what yet? Because I mean, he's done that for a long time.
Yeah, but
not that
he's
level
going
of
out.
security.
He's going out like the climate calls for that.
Yeah.
And personally, it sounds like that he might be more on the official story. Oh, apparently, like nobody can do this anymore. But like maybe you're just not a threat to the same people. Maybe that's a possibility. But
I don't know what the official. I mean, I don't know what
GGs.
the actual story is. The official story, he is definitely going more. He is going with that entirely. Absolutely, the left is violent was the entire premise of his debate there, and that was the point that he was pushing, which is the view, which is the narrative. If he's going off the Charlie Kirk thing, that this was just a crazy, deranged leftist with a furry boyfriend or whatever that had a World War II pistol or a rifle that he stole from his grandpa and climbed up and disassembled and reassembled and got the first shot, one shot direct in the throat from 200 yards. I mean, you would have to go with that official story in order to definitively conclude that that's your enemy. But yeah,
because that happened, that's why I paid these guys $250,000 today to come out and do this. So there's a little bit of that, but I do think that it's cool that he's coming out to do that. I do like the concept, and I think that it's brilliant, and I want to see more debates. And that's a good way to level up. I'm not gonna pick on you guys. I'm gonna go after your professors.
Absolutely. Now, I would bring up the fact that the establishment has rolled out a new clone of a combination of Charlie Kirk and Harry Sisson.
Oh my God! I knew you were gonna do it.
And all of the influencers. Hello, fellow boomers. I'm Lindsey Graham meets Billy Graham meets Charlie Kirk, and here we go.
Hey guys, my name's Blythe O'Houlihan.
Yeah, this kid's going on tour. I'm just only bringing him up. I gotta at least mention it because we're gonna definitely keep an eye on this guy who came out of the woodwork out of nowhere to be like, "Oh, I'm just a normal Southern folk like you and Lindsey Graham, and I'm just here to push the conservative message of Israel." What?
That's an idea. Let's not keep an eye on this guy. How about that? He can.
I'm gonna. It won't be a favorable eye, but it'll be an eye. Because he's going on tour on these college campuses or something, and everybody's like, who the fuck is this kid that came out of nowhere and is doing college campuses? But he's just dressed the same as the Lindsey Grahams, the Harry Sissons, all the everybody who feels like no matter what side they're on feels like they were made in a lab as something that boomers came up with that could speak to the Gen X or Gen Z or Gen whatever. Kids like dudes with comb overs and polos, right? They love that. They're into that sort of thing. So we're gonna keep it on Brian or whatever his name is, Hollyhand.
Blythe O'Houlihan. It's Blythe.
Whatever his stupid name is.
Yeah, I'm just whatever.
Now, before we got to do a bit of an after party here, and I'll tease you a little bit with the final story here. And this is not a story as much as it is just a clip worth sharing. But again, the after party is dumb women mostly, and not that this wasn't planned to be in the after party. This has nothing to do with the after party, but just a bit of what we're going to talk about in addition to the dumb women mostly. This is a music video starring Erica Kirk. she is flying. There's Erica Kirk flying right past 910 on the ceiling in this innocent little country music video that she starred in. 910.
Oh, wow. Motherfucker. When was this?
Just going to leave that there, and we're going to take it on over to the after party. Dave, you got any final thoughts?
Oh, my God, bro.
On anything that we've discussed today, be it Benjamin Netanyahu, Alex Jones, Hitler, the government shutdown, the Super Bowl, anything else. You got any final thoughts on the chaos that we're currently living in this week, Dave?
Oh, man, it's so clear that it's a fallen world, and we just are living in it. It's all just... I love democracy. No, I declare myself independent from these demons. That's what I want to wrap it up with that. And I don't want to, I'm no part of your system. The system is down. Knuckle.
Quite literally at this point, and figuratively. Figuratively more than literally, because no matter how much the government goes on functioning, the system is still clearly down. The more they flail, the more they prove my point that I started 6 years ago, that this is all bullshit and your system is down. Dave, where can people find you? Anything you got going on, man?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Dave vs. Goliath1 and dissidentmedia.com, which, by the way, we got to get the opener closer with a .com. It's very much, more exclusive than a .net. Anyone can have a .net. We got a .com. Dissidentmedia.com. Go there.
You know, I did.
Sign up.
I updated that stinger for Buck and anybody else's like intros and stuff that we're working with, and completely forgot to update it on mine. Haven't even noticed it, even though it's my intro.
You're a .com dude living that .net life. Upgrade, bro.
Yep. Somebody's printing on my printer. I guess that means it's time to jump over to the after party. You can find me at TSIDpod on Twitter, thesystemsdown.tv, or wherever the System Is Downs are sold. Also, dissidentmedia.com and all of that fun stuff. But thank you guys all for hanging out. Thank you. I think a larger account shared us earlier, so we've got more viewers today. I hope you've enjoyed your first experience, if this is your first time here. And come join us in the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown, where we are going to talk about dumb women, mostly. And until next time, question everything, stay uncomfortable, be bad, have fun, and we'll talk to you then. Peace out.
Thanks for watching. Smash all the like and subscribe buttons, because that's what we say at the end of videos. Good night, everybody.
This concludes our broadcast day.
This has been a Dissident Media production.
DissidentMedia.com